Beloved, I am here because heaven placed in my hand something I have never been permitted to carry before. My hands are trembling as I hold it. It is made of pure gold, yet not for beauty. It was forged with the breath of God Himself, and it carries the power to defeat every witch, every demon, every curse that ever dared touch you. You alone were chosen to receive it. And if you turn from me now, I will be forced to walk away forever. That would be the wound I could never heal. I am speaking through the narrowest crack between worlds. My voice pressed through chains, through fire, through silence so deep it feels like death itself. And I am begging you, not as a warrior, but as one who has loved you far more than I was ever supposed to. Do you know what they have planned for you tomorrow? Do you see how close the shadows have crept? I have watched them circle you in the night, whispering spells they thought you could not hear. Did you feel the air grow colder in your room? Did you notice how your reflection shifted in the mirror? They tried to write your name in the language of the pit, but I erased it with my own hand. And now I am holding what will keep them from ever touching you again. Tell me, precious one, when you cried alone last week and thought it was only your own heartbeat pounding, did you notice how the air grew warmer, softer, like the shadow of wings above you? That was me. I was there. I whispered your name into the ear of God, and He answered, not with thunder, but with this golden gift. Heaven warned me, if I leave it in my hands, it will vanish, and with it, the last wall between you and them. I remember the day you were created, the way heaven paused to watch, the way Psalm 91 was breathed over you, that no evil would befall you, that angels would lift you up lest you dash your foot against a stone. I have lived my entire existence to fulfill that promise, but my strength is not endless without your will beside mine. Beloved, what will you choose if I tell you the witches have already named the hour they will come for you? What will you do if I tell you the demons have prepared a door in your sleep, ready to drag you through? My hands are trembling because I know this is my only chance to place this weapon into yours. You are my only assignment, my only soul. Type Amen if you can hear me in your spirit, for those words alone will cut through the veil they have wrapped around you. This gold is not heavy, but it carries the weight of every battle I have fought for you, every song I have sung over you when you did not know you were being kept alive. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? This is no trinket. It is the burning crown of your defense. The moment you take it, every spell will crack, every chain will splinter, every demon will taste the fear they once forced into you. I must speak now with a voice that may not come again. Thank you, beloved, for not turning away, for letting me speak when my words are dripping with both hope and desperation. If you knew how I fought to stand here before you, you would hold this gift with tears in your eyes. And if your heart feels even a tremor of this truth, then I ask you, declare it. Let heaven see your heart beating back toward mine before this window closes forever. Beloved, I feel the seconds slipping through my fingers like grains of burning sand. Each one that falls carries me further from you. I did not want to come to you like this, shaking, desperate, carrying something too holy for my hands. But heaven commanded, and my love for you made me obey. I was told to deliver this, made of gold, made of fire, made of the breath of the Almighty, to you, and you alone. This is not an ornament, not a jewel for display. This is a weapon that cannot be broken, a shield that cannot be pierced, a crown of light that blinds every witch and every demon until they stumble into their own pit. I should not even be holding it. I am not worthy, yet I was entrusted, because there was no one else they could send who would love you enough to risk what I am risking now. I have fought too long to reach this moment. And if you turn away, if you scroll past, if you decide this is not for you, the command from heaven is clear. I will be forced to walk away forever, and I do not know how to survive without you. I must speak plainly, for there is no time left to hide the truth. The enemy already knows of this golden gift. They are terrified you might claim it. Last night they gathered in a hall not made of earth, a place of smoke and cursed tongues. They spoke your name like a poison, passing it from mouth to mouth, hoping to drain its strength. But your name still burns on the palms of his hands. It is still carved into the gates of Zion. It is still engraved into the chambers of my heart. Do you remember, beloved, the night you could not sleep, when you felt a strange heat above your head? That was me, standing over you with my sword drawn, because something was crawling toward your bed, with hands of ash and teeth like rust. I cut it down before it could touch you. Do you remember the morning you woke stronger for no reason you could explain? That was because I carried your name before the throne in the hours when you were too weary to speak, and heaven poured fresh oil upon your spirit. But oil alone will not be enough for the battle that is coming. That is why I am trembling, because this is my only chance. Beloved, do you realize what they have already taken from you without your permission? Do you see how many blessings are locked away in dark places because they fear what you would become if you held them? This golden gift is not just a weapon, it is a key. It can open every hidden place, restore every stolen thing, and shatter every curse that was ever spoken over your life. But I cannot keep holding it between worlds. It must be placed into your hand. If I fail, it will be taken from me, hidden again for 1,000 years, and you will walk without ever knowing what could have been. Psalm 18 is burning in my spirit even now as I speak. The Almighty will deliver you from your strong enemy, from those too strong for you, and he will bring you forth into a large place, because he delights in you. I have seen this delight. I have seen the way heaven bends to listen when you whisper in pain, the way the Father smiles when you show kindness no one else notices, and I have seen the way hell trembles when your name is spoken in prayer. But listen, beloved, hell will not sit idle. Now they have moved closer than ever before, and without this, without the gold that carries his breath, they will not stop. So I must ask you, when was the last time you felt truly safe? When did you last walk without the shadow of dread behind you? When was the last time you felt light on your face and knew it was not from the sun, but from heaven's gaze? And when, beloved, did you last believe, truly believe, that you were worth saving? I ask you because you must understand. This is not about whether you feel ready. This is about whether you are willing to take what was forged for you before you were even born. The enemy has made their move, and I have made mine. This message, this moment, this golden gift, it is mine to carry. But you are the one who must choose. Type Amen if your spirit hears me, for even that one act will crack the wall between us wider. I will not beg twice because heaven is listening, but I will tell you the truth. This is the last time I will ever be permitted to speak to you like this. If you refuse, the gold is alive. I feel it pulsing like a heartbeat, and every beat speaks your name. It longs to be in your grasp, to melt into your spirit, to wrap you in a light nothing can pierce. The moment you take it, every witch who plotted against you will lose their voice. Every demon will lose their strength. Every curse will recoil back on its sender. And I will stand beside you in a way I never have before, not as a distant guardian, but as a brother in arms, as one who fights back to back with you until the very end. Beloved, I speak with my soul torn open, and I will not pretend to be untouched by this. I love you more than I was ever meant to. They say angels do not feel as men feel, but they did not see what I saw when you fought to stay alive. They did not watch you forgive those who tried to destroy you. They did not hear the sound your spirit makes when you sing alone. I did, and it broke me. And now, I stand here offering the only thing that can ensure we see the victory together. If you take it, the battle will be different. If you refuse, I cannot protect you from what comes next. Before I lose this moment, I ask one thing, and I will never ask again. Subscribe to stay under the shield of these messages. Each one is a lifeline heaven has fought to deliver to you. Storms are ahead, and you will need the next word, the next warning, the next shield. Do not let them cut this line between us now. I have no more strategy, only my heart. I place this gift at your feet in spirit, and I watch for the moment you lift it. I thank you already, in faith, for listening to a voice that trembles. Thank you for not leaving me speaking into nothing. Thank you, and for letting my love be enough to pull you close. One last time. If this reaches your soul, let heaven see it. Like this message, share this light, and comment with the words that rise from your heart. For even your words will become a wall of fire around you tonight. Beloved, I have not moved since I last spoke to you. My knees are still pressed into the dust of this battlefield between realms. My hands are still trembling as they hold the golden gift heaven told me to deliver into yours. Hours have passed here, and though you may not feel it, time in this place moves like the slow breathing of eternity. But my urgency has only sharpened. My love for you has only burned deeper. The chains around my voice are loosening for a short moment, and I can speak again. But I do not know for how long before the fire closes in. So I must pour everything into you now, for this may be the last full moment before the enemy attempts to cut this lifeline. I have been thinking of you in the hours between my words, thinking of the weight your spirit has carried, the way you endured pain without letting your heart turn to stone, the way you still dare to believe in light, even when the night feels endless. That is why this gift was forged, for you and you alone. I wish you could feel what I feel when I hold it, the warmth of heaven's breath running through its veins, the hum of angel voices woven into its gold, the weight of divine justice pressed into its core. It is not mere gold, it is living authority, the kind that makes witches scatter like smoke, and demons collapse as if the ground beneath them has turned to burning glass. But I am forbidden to keep it. It will burn me to ash if I hold it too long. It must rest in your hands, for it was shaped to your spirit. Do you understand, beloved? They chose you not because you are the strongest, but because you are the one they cannot bend. They have thrown storms at you, and you walked through. They whispered lies, and you held your truth. They stole from you, but you did not surrender your will. And now they fear what will happen when you hold this. That is why, even now, witches are speaking against this moment. They can sense the gold moving toward you. Demons are pressing in, hoping to distract you, to make you scroll, to make you think this is nothing. But this is everything. Let me tell you what I saw last night. I descended into a place even angels dread to retrieve this gift. I walked through halls lined with the trophies of the enemy, dreams stolen, destinies broken, promises buried under curses, and among them, I saw the fragments of blessings meant for you. I gathered them in my arms as I took this golden weapon, and I swore I would bring them back to you. But the enemy saw me. They struck at me. They burned me. They tried to rip this from my hands. I fought with every drop of strength I had left, knowing that if I fell, you would never even know how close you came to receiving this. But I did not fall. Not yet. And now, I stand here, looking at you through this narrow tier between worlds, praying you will not turn away. Tell me, beloved, do you know what they planned for tonight? Do you understand the level of darkness aimed at you? Do you realize that without this gift, you will be standing in the open, with no shield when they come? I do not say this to frighten you, but to awaken you. I have seen battles end in victory and in loss, and I know which path this one will take if you walk away now. But I also know the glory of what happens when a chosen soul stands up, takes what heaven has given, and wields it without fear. Psalm 35 burns in me now. The Lord will contend with those who contend with you. He will fight against those who fight against you. He will take hold of shield and buckler and stand up for your help. That is what this gift is. The shield in his hand, placed into yours. The buckler against which every arrow will break. The proof that heaven has not abandoned you. No matter how silent the skies have seemed, beloved, hear me. You are not alone in this moment. There are eyes watching from the balconies of heaven, saints who prayed for you before you were born, angels who have stood guard at the edges of your nights, even those you loved, who now walk in the light, all watching to see if you will reach out and take what is yours. And I am here, kneeling before you, knowing that if you reject this, I will not be allowed to stand here again. This is the moment when you must not just hear me, but act, because love without action leaves doors open to the enemy, and I will not see you left exposed. Beloved, I must also tell you something practical, something necessary for what is coming. If you feel the weight of this moment, if your heart is stirred, I urge you now, strengthen the bridge between us. Use the super thanks as your declaration in the open that you are choosing the light. Join the channel membership so you remain under the shield of every word heaven sends next. And join our family through the newsletter link in the pinned comments so you can never be cut off from what is coming. The enemy cannot intercept what is sealed that way. And I have seen how quickly messages are lost in the storm when they are not anchored. Do not take this lightly. I will not say it again. This is the one chance to anchor yourself to the flow of heaven's words through me. After this, there will be silence until the next appointed time. And now I return to what matters most. You. Do you know, beloved, that the first time I saw you, I knew you would be the one to break something ancient in the kingdom of darkness? Do you know that your kindness is more feared in hell than the swords of 1,000 angels? Do you know that every time you refuse to hate, a demon loses its grip on another soul? You are far more dangerous to them than you realize. With this gift in your hand, you will be unstoppable, but you must take it. Not tomorrow, not later. Now. The gold is glowing hotter, and I feel the strain of holding it. My fingers are burning, but I will not drop it until you take it. Type Amen if you hear me, if your spirit feels the pull, for that one word will pull this gift across the veil faster than anything else. And when you do, beloved, watch how the air around you shifts, watch how the heaviness lifts, watch how the whispers stop. It will be the first sign that the transfer has begun. I want to thank you now, not just for listening, but for allowing me to love you in this way. You are not just another assignment to me, you are my only. And I will carry the memory of this moment into every battle, whether you ever see me again or not. Thank you for not letting me stand here in vain. Thank you for letting my words pierce the noise around you. Thank you for giving me this one chance to place eternity in your hands. And if this has reached the deepest part of you, then do one last thing before this moment closes. Like this message so its light goes further, and let your words be seen in the comments as a banner over your life, a declaration that you have taken the gift, and you will not let it go. Beloved, I have stayed here in this trembling place between heaven's light and the shadow's breath, refusing to move, because I know the weight of what still must be spoken into you. The air around me tastes of fire and dust, but I will not rise until I have poured everything that burns in me into your spirit. The gift, this gold that heaven made for you, still rests in my hands, glowing like the sun before creation. And every second I hold it, I feel the prayers of ages past woven into its light. I have traced my fingers over its edges, and I feel the pulse of battles already won, the hum of angelic voices, the breath of the Almighty pressed into its form, but it was not made for my grip. It beats with your name. It waits for your touch. It longs to wrap itself around your soul. Since the last time I spoke, I have watched the movement of the enemy. I have seen them gather, whispering in the old languages, trying to seal cracks in their walls before you take this. They think they are unseen, but I have walked among them, cloaked in light they cannot perceive, and I have heard their fear. They know that if you take this into your hands, every altar they raised against you will crumble. Every curse tied to your name will break in the same breath. They have prepared for years for a moment like this, hoping it would never come. And yet, here we are. I have not slept. I do not sleep. My eyes have been fixed on you through every shadow and every morning. I have seen you rise from beds soaked in the sweat of nightmares you could not remember, and I have heard you speak words of hope, even when your own heart was breaking. Those moments, beloved, are the very proof that you are worthy of what I carry. Not perfection, not strength beyond measure, but a refusal to let the darkness have the final word. Do you understand? This gift is not just to protect you. It is to release you into what you were meant to do, before the world told you to be silent. And remember, the first sound of your voice was not your birth, but the first time you cried out in pain. And heaven answered. I was there, standing at the edge of your night, whispering to the one who formed you, reminding him of every promise spoken over your life before the stars existed. And he looked upon you and gave me this assignment that has defined my very being. Guard this one, guide this one, fight for this one, until the end. And I have, through storms and fire, through loneliness so deep it shook the bones of your soul. But now, beloved, the war has shifted. My sword alone will not be enough. You must hold this gold. You must carry the fire with me. Beloved, I have seen what happens if you do not. The path folds in on itself. Blessings wither in your hands before they bloom. People meant to stand beside you vanish. Doors slam shut, not because they were never yours, but because the enemy forced them closed. I have walked the length of that possible future, and I do not want to see you in it. But I have also seen the other road, the one where you take this, where the gold melts into you like light into dawn, and you rise with an authority no darkness can challenge. On that road, every word spoken against you loses its teeth. Every spirit sent to torment you is driven back as if by a wall of fire. You walk through shadows and they bow before you, because they know whose breath you carry. The gold hums louder now. It is as if it knows I am near the end of my strength. My fingers ache from holding it, not from its weight, but from the pressure of what it longs to do. It is alive, beloved, and it will not rest until it is one with you. I feel the way it pushes against my palms, eager to cross the veil. I have carried weapons before, swords blessed in heaven's flame, shields etched with names that make darkness tremble. But I have never carried anything like this. It is not for armies. It is not for thrones. It is for one soul. And that soul is yours. I must ask you something, not to test you, but to remind you of your own story. When was the last time you felt the peace of knowing you were completely defended? When did you last walk without glancing over your shoulder in spirit? When did you last trust that the ground beneath you was not mined with snares? You were not made to live in that constant bracing for impact. You were made to move in the open, under the shadow of the Most High, to hear the wind of His presence, and not wonder if it is warning or welcome. This gift is the seal of that safety, the return of that freedom. Psalm 27 is written into its very veins. The Lord is your light and your salvation. Whom shall you fear? The Lord is the strength of your life. Of whom shall you be afraid? Those words are not only to be read, they are meant to live inside you until fear finds no home. I have fought long enough to know fear is the first door the enemy seeks to open, and this will seal it shut forever. I must tell you of the place I took this from. It was hidden deep beneath a veil of smoke, guarded by spirits who have not seen light since they were cast down. They mocked me as I came, telling me I could not touch it, that it would burn me before I could lift it. But I walked forward, not with my own courage, but with the sound of your name in my spirit. They struck at me. They tried to blind me. They set the floor beneath me aflame. But the light inside me held. I reached the pedestal where it rested, and as I touched it, the voices around me fell silent, not out of surrender, but out of fear. They know what this is, beloved. They know it ends their hold on you. I will not lie. The moment I took it, the war around me intensified. The chains they hurled, the spears they threw, the walls they raised to keep me from leaving. I broke through each one, but at a cost. My wings bear the marks of that journey. My hands are cut. My strength is not what it was. And yet, I would walk through it again for the chance to place this into your hands. Do you see? You are not simply loved. You are fought for over and over in realms you cannot see. The silence between my words now is not emptiness. It is the sound of heaven leaning in. They are watching, waiting for the moment this crosses the veil. The Father's gaze is steady. The Son's hands are open. The Spirit moves like a wind circling us both. This is not a game, not a metaphor, not a story told only to inspire. It is truth, as it burns in eternity. And my only task is to deliver it to you before it is too late. Beloved, hear me with your spirit as much as with your ears. This gold was never meant to sit in my grasp. It was shaped for your soul, hammered in heaven's fire to fit the contours of your spirit. It will not rest until it is with you, and I will not rest until I see it there. Take it, not with hands of flesh, but with the faith that moves mountains. And when you do, know this: I will stand beside you, not above you, not ahead of you, but with you. And the next battle will not be yours alone. Beloved, the air here is heavy now, not with the weight of defeat, but with the pressure of what is about to happen. I feel the shift in the unseen. Something ancient and unbroken stirs because it knows this moment is unlike any other in your life. The golden gift still lies in my hands. Its light is no longer steady. It pulses as though it has a heartbeat. And with every pulse I hear your name. It calls to you not from a distance, but as if it already knows you will accept it. I have stood on battlefields where the ground shook from the roar of angelic armies. But this stillness, this sacred pause, is far more powerful. All of heaven has slowed to watch you now. The Father's gaze does not waver. The Son's wounds still shine as proof of his love for you. The Spirit is a wind around my wings, urging me forward. You may not see it, but I feel the hosts lined in ranks, silent, waiting. Because this gift is the pivot on which your story turns. You may not yet grasp why it had to be gold, but hear me. This is not the gold of this world. It is the gold of the first light, the gold woven into the rivers of Eden before a shadow ever touched the earth. It is purity, made tangible. When darkness looks upon it, it is blinded. When curses attempt to cling to it, they dissolve like mist and fire. This is not just a weapon, not just a shield. It is a living covenant between heaven and your soul. I must tell you what I saw while carrying it here. As I walked through the torn places between realms, spirits tried to block my way. Some offered illusions, hoping to distract me from you. Others roared threats, hoping I would turn back. But each time my resolve faltered, I remembered you. I remembered the way you have endured. I remembered nights when despair could have drowned you, yet you rose. I remembered days when you had no strength left, but you kept walking anyway. Those memories of you became my armor when my own was nearly stripped away. I want you to know something deeply, beloved. This is not the first time they have tried to take from you what heaven meant for you. There are blessings, victories, and answers to prayer that have been delayed, stolen, or hidden because of the war around you. But this gift I hold cannot be taken. It cannot be hidden from you now. The only thing that can keep it from your hands is your own refusal to believe it belongs to you. Beloved, I see what is coming if you take this. I see the chains that have wrapped around parts of your life shattering so suddenly that the enemy will not even have time to react. I see light breaking into the places where you have lived with shadows for so long that you forgot what brightness felt like. I see people and opportunities, blocked for years by unseen forces, suddenly flowing toward you like rivers breaking free from a dam. I see your spirit rising with a strength you thought was gone forever. But I also see what will come if you let this moment pass. The enemy will take your hesitation as permission to tighten the snares they have set. The whispers of doubt will grow louder. The shadows will lean closer, emboldened by your silence. I am not saying this to frighten you, but to give you the truth, unbroken. The choice you make here will echo far beyond today. When I touch the gold, I feel psalms written into its very being, promises that no evil will befall you, that his angels will bear you up, that you will walk on the lion and the serpent without harm. These are not poetic images. They are realities, waiting to manifest the moment you claim what has been prepared for you. Do you remember, beloved, the last time you felt completely covered, as if no harm could reach you? That was not imagination. That was me, standing with my sword drawn over your life. But swords can only defend for so long. This gift will turn you from one who is merely defended into one who advances, one who drives the darkness back, instead of simply holding it off. I need you to feel the urgency in me. My wings are trembling from the strain of holding this between realms. My strength is not infinite in this form, and every second I hold this without placing it into your hands costs me more. Yet I will not let it go until you take it, because to do so would be to surrender the mission I was created for. Beloved, the veil between us is thin right now. If you reached out in faith, your hand would break through it. I am kneeling, not because I am defeated, but because this moment is holy. I kneel to show you that this is not my gift to keep. It is yours to receive. Once you do, the enemy's plans will begin to unravel in ways they cannot stop, and I will stand with you when it happens. I will walk with you through the first steps. I will fight alongside you in the battles ahead. But first, you must take it. I can feel the unseen pressing closer as I speak, as if the walls between this realm and yours are bowing under the weight of what is about to pass through. The gold is burning now, not with a heat that harms, but with a light so fierce that the darkness retreats without a word. Its glow flickers over my hands, over the scars I bear from carrying it through places no angel wishes to tread. I have walked paths where the air was thick with curses, where the ground itself hissed with hatred toward the one I serve. Yet I did not stop, because your name was before me. The moment I first touched this gold, I heard a sound. It was not the voice of an angel, nor the roar of heaven's armies. It was the sound of your spirit calling out, not in words, but in a tone heaven knows. It was the cry of someone who has endured more than most will ever know, yet still refuses to bow to the darkness. That sound was why I could lift it. Without your will, without your history, without your endurance, it would have remained where it was, locked away until time itself folded in on itself. This gold is older than the mountains, older than the oceans, older even than the stars that sing in the night. It was forged in the breath of God, before the first lie was ever spoken, before the first wound was ever struck. It was made for you before you had taken your first breath, knowing the battles you would face, knowing the storms that would try to claim you. That is why it fits in my hands, but burns for yours. It has been waiting for this moment, waiting for the one it belongs to. As I hold it, I see visions not of what is, but of what will be. I see the snares around your life breaking apart like spider silk in a storm. I see the eyes that have watched you from the shadows shuddering themselves in fear. I see the words spoken against you falling to the ground, unable to land. I see paths that have been hidden under years of dust clearing in an instant, leading you to places you thought were lost forever. But I also see the urgency. This gift will not remain here forever. There is a window, a thin place in time, where it can cross into your life. And that window is not open for long. I have watched such moments close before, and I do not want to watch it close on you. If it does, the fight will become harder, the road longer, the shadows bolder. Do you know why the enemy fears you so deeply, beloved? It is not only because of who you are now, but because of who you would become if you were fully armed with what heaven has prepared. They can face someone unarmed. They can attempt to wear down someone who fights alone. But when a chosen soul stands with the gold of heaven in their spirit, they cannot prevail. They know it. That is why they have sent distraction after distraction, why they have woven nets of delay around you, why they have tried to convince you that moments like this are not real. But I have fought too many battles on your behalf to let that lie stand. I have carried you through nights when the air around you was thick with the intent of harm. I have cut down shapes that moved toward you when you could not see them. I have stood at your door and barred it when things came that had no right to cross its threshold. And I have done it without asking for thanks, because that is my charge, my calling. But now, the war has come to a place where my defense alone is not enough. You must be equipped to stand and strike, not just to endure. The gold hums in my grip, and each pulse of its light feels like a heartbeat between heaven and you. When I focus, I can hear faint echoes within it, scriptures spoken over you before your birth, promises whispered into the air above your cradle, blessings spoken by those who loved you even before you knew their names. These have been stored within it, waiting for the day they would awaken. Beloved, I have seen the day you take this into yourself. The sky will not split, the earth will not shake, not in ways the world can measure, but every shadow in your life will feel it. They will know a line has been drawn that cannot be crossed. You will walk differently. You will speak differently. Even the way you pray will change, because the authority within you will be greater than the weight against you. There is no coin, no crown, no human-made weapon that can compare to this. It is not earned by deeds, but by the endurance of your spirit, and by the love the Father has for you. It is the seal of His intent, that you will not just survive, but overcome. I am not leaving, not until I have said all that must be said. The enemy will try to pull your attention away, even now. But I am holding this moment open with everything I have left. If you could see me now, you would see my wings spread wide, not in flight, but as a wall around you, shielding this exchange from interference. The fire between us is not to burn you, but to burn away every last thing that does not belong to you. Beloved, the choice is still yours. Heaven never forces what must be freely received. I will hold this gold until my hands cannot hold it anymore. I will kneel here in the threshold between realms until you decide. And when you do, I will be ready. And every shadow that has ever touched you will know that its time has ended. Beloved, the light from the gold has grown brighter still, so bright now that the space around me has no shadow. It is not the light of the sun, nor the silver light of the moon. It is a light that has no source except the heart of God. It spills over my hands, over my armor, over the ground where I kneel, and it hums like 1,000 voices singing one note together. That note is your name, every syllable wrapped in love and fire. I have carried many things in my time. I have borne messages from the throne that shook empires. I have carried scrolls sealed with fire, swords drawn from the river of heaven. But never before have I carried something made for one soul alone. Every contour of this gift, every shimmer of its light, every pulse of its warmth, shaped for you. And the longer I hold it, the more I understand why the enemy has fought so hard to keep it from you. You have been tested more than you realize. There were moments when the darkness believed it had broken you. Moments when the enemy laughed, certain you would not rise again. But every time, you rose. Perhaps not swiftly, perhaps not without scars, but you rose. And each rising became another thread woven into this gift. You think your pain was wasted? No, it has been transformed into strength. And that strength has been sealed in this gold, waiting to return to you 100-fold. I see you as heaven sees you, not as the world has called you, not as your enemies have accused you, not even as you have sometimes seen yourself in weakness. I see the mark on your forehead that is invisible to human eyes, the seal that says, "Belongs to the Most High." That seal is why I fight for you. That seal is why this gold calls for you. I remember one night. I will not say the date because you will know it in your heart. When you stood at the edge of giving up, you thought no one saw you there. You thought your voice was too small to reach beyond your ceiling. But I was standing just beyond your sight, my hand on your shoulder, whispering strength into your spirit. That night, a decision was made in heaven to begin the final preparation of this gift for you. And now, here it is. There are things bound to you that you do not even know are there. Old words spoken by others, old fears that have lived in your bloodline for generations, unbroken agreements made by those who came before you. The enemy uses these as anchor points, keeping you from moving freely. But when this gift becomes yours, those anchors will rip from the ground. They will have nothing left to hold on to. I have been warned, beloved, that delivering this to you will bring retaliation. They will come for me, yes, but their true aim will be to shake you before you take hold of it. They will try to stir confusion, to make you question whether this is real, to convince you that you are imagining the pull you feel in your spirit right now. But you are not imagining it. What you feel is the truth pressing against the walls of your heart, waiting to flood in. The light from the gold has started to ripple as if impatient. I can feel it tugging toward you as though my hands are no longer enough to hold it. I have carried it across places where the ground was cracked and bleeding, where the air smelled of fire and rot, where whispers tried to slip into my thoughts. I did not stop. I would not stop. Because if I faltered for even a moment, this moment would be lost. And with it, the destiny tied to your name. Oh, beloved, do you know that when the Father speaks of you, his tone changes? Even among the billions he has created, there is a unique timbre in his voice when your name leaves his lips. I have heard it, and it is unlike anything else. That is why this gift exists. Not as a general blessing, not as something anyone else could carry, but as a direct response to the way he feels about you. If you could see what I see now, the shifting of the realms, the trembling of the enemy lines, you would understand how close you are to a turning point that will not come again in the same way. Heaven is leaning forward. Hell is stepping back, unsure of what you will choose. The balance will tip the moment you decide. I can see the shape of what you will become with this. I see you walking in places you once feared, and the fear melting before you. I see chains you carried for years falling without a fight. I see the faces of those you will set free simply by standing in the light of what you have been given. Some of these people you know, others you have not yet met. All of them are tied to this moment. The air around me grows heavier now, not with dread, but with expectation. The gift is almost ready to leap from my hands to your spirit. I am holding it steady, but I cannot for long. The fire that forged it is still alive, and fire is not meant to be contained. Soon, it will seek its rightful bearer, and I will release it. When I do, beloved, nothing will be the same. The battles ahead will still come, but they will not look the same. The shadows will still try, but they will not come as close. The storms will still form, but they will break sooner. And you, yes you, will stand in a way you have never stood before. Not because of me, not because of the gift itself, but because of what it awakens in you. Something that was always there, waiting for this very hour. I will still be here, though you may not always feel me. For even when my voice falls silent, my sword will remain drawn, my eyes fixed upon you, my loyalty unshaken until the final day. Beloved, the stillness around me now is not the stillness of peace, but the stillness before the release of something unstoppable. It is as if all creation has paused, holding its breath. The gold I carry is moments away from breaking into the place where you are. Even the air feels tense, vibrating softly, like the instant before lightning strikes the earth. My hands feel both heavy and light, heavy with the weight of every battle fought to bring this here, yet light, because the presence of heaven within it makes it rise, as if it already longs to be in your grasp. I can see through the thinness of the veil how the shadows gather at the edges of your life. They linger, hoping to remain unseen, hoping you will live as though they are not there. But they are not moving closer, not because they fear me, but because they fear what will happen if this gift reaches you. They know the nature of it. They know it was forged to unmake every plan they ever formed against you. I still remember the sound this gold made when it was placed in my hands. It was not a clash. It was not a roar. It was a sound so pure, it was almost silence. It carried a holiness that pressed into me, and with it came the knowing. This belongs to one, and one only. I felt your name written in its very center, not as ink, not as fire, but as light. That light pulsed like a heartbeat, and I could feel your spirit answer it. Even though you were far away in the realm of time, the bond was already alive. The journey to you was not without cost. I have passed through gates guarded by voices in the dark, whispering lies. That you would not take it, that you would not believe it, that my mission was in vain. I have fought in silence, not always drawing my sword, but standing immovable when the ground split beneath me. More than once they tried to trap me in places of no return, but each time I saw your face in the distance and I refused to turn aside. Beloved, this gold does not merely protect, it transforms. It carries the memory of every time you rose when you could have stayed down. It knows your endurance. It knows your courage. It knows the quiet strength you carried when no one was watching. And when you receive it, that strength will multiply until it becomes a force the enemy cannot look upon without turning away. I need you to understand the fullness of what stands before you now. Battles will still come, but without this, you would meet them with only the weapons you have always known. With this, you will meet them with what they cannot defend against. You will step into places they claimed as theirs, and watch their hold break in your very presence. You will speak words that undo curses. You will carry an atmosphere that shifts the room before you ever open your mouth. I have seen glimpses of the ripples this moment will cause. It will not stop with you. It will touch those you love, even those who do not yet understand. It will reach into places you have prayed for years to see changed. It will cut through barriers that felt like walls set in stone. The gold hums louder now. It is almost singing. Not a song your ears can learn, but one your spirit will recognize the instant it enters you. It is the song of your freedom, the sound of your name in the original language of heaven, the very word the Father spoke over you before time began, a sound the enemy tried your whole life to drown out, but could never erase. And now it returns to you whole, unbroken. Beloved, I stand knowing that when I release this, my role in this part of the war will be complete. I will still guard you, still fight for you, still stand between you and the arrows in the dark. But the carrying of this gift will be finished. It will be yours. From that moment on, the battles will look different. I wish you could see what I see. The throne room leaning forward, the witnesses in white garments watching, the fire encircling this moment like a crown. The Spirit moves between us like a rushing wind, stirring the light in my hands, preparing it for the crossing. My wings ache from the stillness of holding this space open, but I will not fold them, not until the gold has reached you. The moment of release is near. I feel the shift in the very fabric between our worlds. When it passes through, you will know, not because of what your eyes see, but because something within you will break open, and light will flood the places that have waited the longest. And when it happens, you will understand why I fought so hard, why I bled in places no light touched, why I refused to let go no matter the cost. It was for you, always for you. Beloved, the veil between us now is like the thinnest film of glass, trembling as though it might shatter under the force building on both sides. The gold in my hands grows warmer with each breath, as though it recognizes the nearness of its true keeper. It does not shine with a cold light. It burns with a living fire, the fire that does not consume but purifies, the fire that makes every shadow retreat before it even touches them. Around me, the air is charged, every particle humming with the memory of where this gift has been and the purpose for which it was made. I see flashes within it, visions of you standing in moments yet to come, moments where this gift in your spirit changes the course of what could have been. I see you speaking into situations that would have crushed others, yet watching them bend instead toward light. I see you walking unafraid into places where fear once gripped you. I see battles ending the very moment you arrive. The enemy does not fear me holding this. They fear you holding it. They know I have carried weapons before, but those weapons were never meant to dwell in the realm of men. This, however, is different. Once it crosses to you, it will remain. Nothing they can do will ever take it away. That permanence is what terrifies them. That is why I have felt their eyes upon me since the moment I lifted it from its resting place. That is why they have tried to surround you with confusion, with heaviness, with distraction in these hours. They would rather you never hear my words than risk you understanding their truth. I remember the place where this gold was hidden. It was not displayed upon a pedestal. It was buried deep, sealed under layers of binding only heaven's command could break. When I approached, the air grew heavy, pressing against me until even my wings strained. There were guardians there, but not the kind heaven sends. These were shadows, set to keep it from you. They spoke lies in the voice of memory, words designed to sound familiar, to make me question whether the journey was meant for another. But I knew, the seal upon the gold bore your light, and nothing could convince me otherwise. Lifting it was unlike anything I have done. It was as though I lifted the weight of every battle you have fought, every wound you have endured, every prayer you whispered through tears. It was heavy with your history, yet light with the promise of your future. In that moment I understood, it was not merely a weapon, not simply a shield. It was the restoration of what has always been yours, pressed into the form of something unbreakable. As I carried it through the realms, I passed places where the ground cracked and bled, where the air burned with the breath of those who fell into darkness long ago. They reached for it, some with force, others with whispers, but none could hold it. Each time they drew near, the gold flared with such intensity that their forms blurred and retreated. I did not need to strike with steel. The gift itself fought for its rightful journey. Beloved, I can feel your spirit even now, though you may not feel mine. There is a stirring in you that you cannot yet name, a sense of something approaching, something foreign and yet deeply familiar. That is the gold calling to you. It has always been yours, but never this close before. It is as though it remembers you, even as you will remember it once it arrives. I need you to know the truth of what will follow once it is yours. The battles will still come, but their nature will change. The traps laid for you will spring back upon those who set them. The curses spoken against you will return to their senders, empty and powerless. The doors once locked will open, not with a crash, but with the quiet authority of one who belongs there. You will not have to force your way through. Your presence will be enough. I see this moment stretching into eternity, the instant where heaven's intent meets your readiness. And though time flows differently here, I know there is an appointed hour where I must release it. I hold that moment back as long as I can, so I may speak every word you need before it comes. My wings ache from holding this position. My hands burn from the constant hum of the gift. Yet my resolve does not waver. If you could see the space around me, you would see rings of fire encircling us, not to bar you out, but to keep the enemy from drawing near. You would see the ground beneath me glowing with the presence of the gold. You would see the watchful eyes of others who fought for you in ways you will never know, standing at a distance, their hands over their hearts in reverence for this hour. When the moment comes, beloved, it will not be loud. It will be like the quiet breaking of a long night into morning. You will feel the shift before you see it. The heaviness in the air will lift. The thoughts that have pressed down upon you will scatter, and something deep within will rise, unbidden, standing taller without effort. And I will release it into you with the same care with which I have carried it, knowing that every step I took through fire, every silent battle, was worth this one act. For this is not simply a mission, it is my honor. Beloved, the weight of this hour has grown so deep that even the unseen winds around me have stilled. This is not silence of absence. It is the silence of every watcher, every host, every witness holding their breath for what is about to take shape. I feel the eyes of heaven fixed upon this moment, and I feel the gnashing of teeth from shadows beyond the circle of light where I kneel. They know they cannot cross the fire to take this from me, but they are desperate to slow it, to cloud your mind, to make you doubt the truth of what I bring. The gold burns hotter now, but it does not harm me. It purifies. The longer I hold it, the more it strips away, until I am nothing but the purpose I was given, to place this into your hands. And with every heartbeat of its light, I see flashes of you. Not as you were yesterday, not as you are today, but as you will be once this is yours. I see you standing unflinching in storms that once bent you low. I see you walking into rooms heavy with shadow, watching them empty before you speak a word. I see your very presence declaring, the enemy's reign in your life has ended. I remember the day this gold was first spoken into existence. I was not there at its forging, for it was not crafted in any place we could stand. It was made in the breath of the Most High, in the first instant when light separated from darkness. It was not shaped by hand, but by the will of God Himself, who looked into time and saw you, saw the battles you would fight, saw the wounds you would carry, and decided that nothing less than this would ensure your victory. When the command came for me to retrieve it, I felt the weight in my spirit before my hands ever touched it. There are journeys that take you into the very heart of darkness, not to be swallowed by it, but to retrieve what it sought to hide. This was such a journey. I stepped into realms where the air reeked of despair, where the ground bled beneath my feet, where whispers curled like smoke into the ears of any who passed. They told me you would never take it, that you would turn away even if I placed it before you, that my mission was hopeless. But I know the sound of your spirit, beloved, and I knew those voices were liars. I found it not lying in open display, but sealed in a prison, not of stone or iron, but of agreements and lies spoken over your life long before you drew your first breath. The enemy believed that by binding your inheritance in words, they could keep it from you forever. But words not rooted in truth cannot stand in the presence of the one who is truth. At His command, the seals broke like dry branches. The moment my hands closed around the gold, it woke. Light poured from it like a tide, rushing over me, through me, carrying the memory of every time you refused to give in, every time you stood when you could have fallen, every time you chose hope when despair seemed easier. All of it had been gathered here, refined, made unshakable. I knew then that I held something as much a part of you as your own breath. Carrying it back was a battle in itself. The enemy, sensing what I had taken, unleashed everything they could to slow me. Storms that screamed with voices not of this earth, walls of fire meant to scorch the gift from my hands, shadows reaching for me with talons of hunger. But at every turn the gold defended itself. It blazed in my grasp, forcing them back, burning their forms into nothingness. And now I kneel before the thin place between my realm and yours. The fire around me forms a perfect circle holding back the dark. The gold thrums with urgency, its light spilling like water over the unseen barrier, touching you even now, though you may not fully sense it. That warmth you feel rising in your spirit, that sudden clarity in the center of your being, it is the first thread of its power reaching across. Beloved, the moment of transfer is near. I can feel the veil weakening, as if it knows it cannot hold this back much longer. I will place it into your hands, not with noise or spectacle, but with the quiet certainty of something that was always meant to be. You will know it by the stillness that falls, by the way the air shifts around you, by the sudden sense that the ground beneath your feet is more solid than it has ever been. When it becomes yours, everything will change, not in chaos, but in alignment. What was crooked will straighten. What was blocked will open. What was stolen will begin to find its way back to you. And though battles will still rise, you will face them from a place of unshakable strength. I have guarded this with every breath, every wing beat, every ounce of strength I possess. And when I let it go, it will not leave you. Not until all it was created to do is fulfilled. I will stand beside you as it works, watching as darkness flees before you, knowing every step we took to reach this moment was worth it. Beloved, the fire that surrounds me is no longer simply a wall. It is a living ocean of light, rising higher, folding inward, pressing all that is holy into the space between us. The gold in my hands now feels weightless, as though heaven itself holds it with me, waiting for the precise breath when it must pass into you. And yet, even as I hold it, I feel its impatience. This gift was never meant to remain here. It has waited for you longer than you have been alive. It carries not only the power to strike down every witch, every demon that dared to touch your life, but proof that you were always marked for something the enemy could not steal. I see the darkness hovering at the edges, restless now, unsteady, because they know I have reached the final stage. They know that when this gold becomes one with your spirit, every agreement they have made against you will crumble. Every stronghold they have built will collapse into dust. They whisper your weaknesses to themselves like a prayer, hoping it will keep you from reaching out. But beloved, they have always underestimated you. They mistake your wounds for defeat. Yet I have seen you rise after every blow. I have seen you choose mercy when wrath would have been easier. I have seen you hold on to light even in the longest nights. And that is why this belongs to you.